Welcome to this edition of Las Películas Sábados Gigantes at the Cinemarijuana Theatre.
Yeah!
Back coming at you once again, another movie all over your face. This week, we're in the middle of a non-theme elimination round.
A non-theme theme?
And this
Theme
week,
is no theme.
we are discussing the last one we viewed, 1992's Sidekicks.
That was from 92?
Yeah.
I thought it was like 86 or something.
That's because of that production quality.
Those Delta Force for real.
That was,
That was actually
real
Delta Force 2.
Yeah. Directed by, I've got it right here.
Chuck
Some guy
Norris.
who got blackballed.
No.
I'm sure.
Directed by Alan Smithy, apparently.
Right.
Directed by Chuck Norris.
Someone Norris.
It is.
directed,
It's like his brother, actually.
Yeah.
God, that's even
Aaron
worse.
Norris. He did it. In fact, we might as well mention it now. He actually did it as a favor to his brother. The piece of trivia about it actually says Chuck Norris did this as a film as a favor to his brother Aaron, who is the director of the film. And really quick before we get started, I would like to mention Norris's disdain for the project was palpable. I just want to say that right off the
You
bat.
could taste the spite.
Which Norris?
Before
I know. The one obligated to the favor who won
dude,
granted.
sing, dude, taking it right to the next level.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get started dissecting this obtuse work of art, let's go around
I was
and
giving it more credit than it deserved.
and introduce ourselves. Going clockwise, starting with me. I'm Ed.
I'm John.
I'm Garrett.
I'm Zeb.
I'm Chris.
I'm Matt Condi.
And
You're not on the couch. It's freaking me out.
so, before we get started discussing this film, I guess we'll go straight to the man Chris to find out why he picked it. Chris won the raffle.
Chris won, we lost.
The lottery. Well, that has yet to be determined.
But the reward was widely
I thought
shared.
this was free for all, not the fuck you theme.
So,
Yeah.
Chris,
Yes.
Yes.
Why did you pick this?
Yeah.
were you once a small black boy needing the mentorship of an old man?
I've had it in my picks on reserve for a while now.
As I recall, I grabbed it. We got it for child protagonist. It was one of the ones you were considering for that.
Well, there you go. So
Makes sense.
that's what I was going to show for child protagonist, if it ever came up, but didn't. I think did we do that theme? Was that a theme?
Yeah, we
It
did.
was- oh yeah,
Oh, so-
absolutely.
Yeah.
That, in fact, remember that was the infamous first theme that we had, the fucking True Grit issue, and the
right.
fucking thing with the
Because
professional.
of protagonist.
Because everybody just decided that anybody could be a protagonist in the movie.
Right.
If you look
Well,
at it
not
the right way.
anybody, but really Victor, and then Jason Land, who loves to argue, wanted to help Victor.
And
Matt, too, to be
everybody
fair.
that Jason Land brought as well.
there were many
Oh,
antagonists that
There was
night.
many antagonists about the protagonist theme. So anyways, continue.
that's why. So that was going to be a pick. It was dear and beloved to me as a child. Thought the movie was hilarious. Was a martial artist as a child, and remember thinking how terrible the kid was and how much I hated him, and how much I would just think as a kid, like I would kick this kid's ass. I hate this kid. Like if he came into my studio, I would definitely kick him in the gut.
But then how
Like
come you
this.
like the movie if
Yeah.
you hated the kids so much?
Well, I love the movie because it was so bad. Me and Joe would watch it and stuff and just laugh our asses off because Chuck Norris is like.
The
I don't
worst
know.
actor of all times.
He's like the worst, like he's the best and the worst all at the same time.
Dude,
like
he's the
he's the best
in
of the
Lone Wolf
worst.
McQuaid.
Yeah,
Quaid. Chief?
all of his work is just golden.
Yeah, well, I actually do own Missing in Action too.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of that film. That is yeah.
which is a film because it was shot on celluloid.
yes.
Right.
Yes.
so
People were paid
Right.
for that.
1 second.
So basically, we have childhood nostalgia.
Yeah,
But child
Okay.
nostalgia for a moment that you knew as a child was bad, right? So what does adult you think of this thing?
it's even worse than I remember.
How long has it been since you've seen it?
20 years?
It had been a long time, maybe at least probably like 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
like something like
It's
that.
funny how like you'll watch a movie like 100 times, like in the first
Right.
10, 15 years of your life, and then not watch it again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
like decades.
It's so
Oh,
funny
man.
because I saw this movie last month.
I'm sorry.
Like on my own. I felt like
You had to go out of your way for it.
Oh man.
I downloaded it because
Oh,
I
man.
was feeling like Chris, like, oh, what are these childhood movies? And then I was all like, I'd rather be watching a Gladiator flick. But then I still finished it and finished off.
Yeah.
Of course. Sometime before the end, I imagine, is it's so exciting. It
You
must
go back
have
to your favorite spot and you freeze frame.
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Pretend you're back in the days of video.
Anything to
If you
see
catch it
Winnie.
just right, it goes back.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how difficult it must have been for you to contain your issue throughout
Containment.
every frame.
I was in fuego.
your loins were in fuego.
You can't stop me. You can only hope to contain me.
Well, you know, I'm certain unless he shaves that Norris's loins were in fuego as well the entire time, being that he's a ginger.
Oh, well, yeah,
So-
absolutely.
So it's
They're
only
ultra
appropriate
fuego.
that yours would be as well.
Cool. I'm glad we got Norris's pubes in on this.
I was afraid it would take us too long.
I was worried
Oh,
about
yeah.
the segue, but you.
We got to
Yeah,
get
see
right
this.
down to the pubes.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I do. In seeing it as an adult, though, I realized that I kind of identify with the kid in a little bit as that he's always
That he's
just kinda-
psychotic.
Well, he's always daydreaming, and he's kind of like halfway in and out of reality, and that's kind of like every day
Yes,
for me. So.
absolutely. Well, and I think probably most of us here,
Yeah.
I would imagine that's I can remember on
He's an
numerous
outsider.
occasions getting in trouble for the exact same shit.
Right.
Well, only it was not a black belt magazine. It was probably a porno magazine.
It was black. It was Black Tail magazine.
Yeah, I said it was swank, and not only to get in trouble for the daydreaming, but for bringing the material to school as well. So it was a
Because you
double
were going to
whammy
earn a
for me.
profit on selling it to somebody.
Yes.
At lunchtime because you wanted to upgrade.
Here's some now and laters and a
That's it.
swank.
Right.
I was I
There's a
definitely
perfect tenant for this if you get
I
a turkey
lacked
sandwich
status.
and Doritos.
I lacked status, and I hoped to gain it. Hoped to gain it with porn.
There's not much to it though. There really was.
Okay. All right. So then, yeah. Basically, you were a fan as a child,
Yeah,
and you thought it would be funny.
I thought it would be funny. Yeah, I thought it would be.
And it
hilarious.
was funny.
It was,
very
it
much
was.
funny.
Yeah.
Is that blocking the blue light enough?
That is blocking the blue light. Thank
Okay.
you for asking.
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan
Because you keep taking it off and then putting it back on, taking it
Well,
off.
I'm
and putting
just
it back
I'm
on.
just trying to get adjusted properly here. I don't until I have my mixer and I can just.
You and your precious mixer.
It's coming. But it's every
So
time-
am I now.
You keep doing this shit to fucking. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it right. All right, so let's then discuss this film. 5-minute timers, and we'll start with you, John,
Oh, lucky me.
because you are to
Come
my
strong.
left.
Come
And
hard.
take it away,
And
John.
Well, what can I say about Sidekicks that already hasn't been said about the greatest works of fiction in human history? Now, I'd never seen this before. I was vaguely aware of its existence. I'm sure I saw a trailer on TV when it came out. Like, I was shocked to just now learn it was from '92 because it was so low budget, it really felt like a mid-'80s movie. Like, I really thought maybe 85, 86, something like that.
Man.
But that kid was really crackers.
He
was shit
I
balls.
find it hard to believe anybody gave a shit about Chuck Norris in '92.
Well, that kind of too. Like, I mean, he was so big with.
Walker, Texas
Yeah,
Ranger.
but that was
yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah,
like, that
was
was
it?
like that brought
This
him
is
back.
like an audition for
Right,
like you
like-
should go to TV, man, because you're too big for the big
yeah,
screen.
movies aren't you anymore.
Yeah.
Because his big run was in the '80s, and that was kind of over when the time this one came out. But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I think I remember when the kid sees the ninja come in, and then like his teacher wakes him up, but then the ninja's still there. It's like, okay, so wait a minute. So he's actually got some kind of mental disturbance where he's seeing things. And then I thought too, like, I don't know if you guys noticed, and it's probably be part of his kind of phoning it in, but once Norris fought Joe Piscopo,
I can't believe it took that long for Joe Piscopo to
to
get
come
mentioned.
out. Right, he just disappeared. Right.
Yeah.
Even at the end when they're celebrating when they got the win, he wasn't there, and I thought it was going to turn out at the end that, okay, so was he ever there?
Yeah.
Chuck Norris is like the wind.
Well, like, yeah, like maybe the kid did it all himself, and he just imagined that Chuck Norris was there. Chuck Norris was his proverbial magic feather like Dumbo, where he didn't really need it. He didn't really need Chuck Norris.
Well
but-
done, John.
I've seen a Chuck Norris fly.
but he thought he was there helping him, telling him. Because even, too, when he was giving him the advice with breaking the blocks and stuff, it's like, he's not really going to be here, right? Like, this is all just some huge, elaborate hallucination. this
Holy
kid's having.
shit!
What?
Why the fuck doesn't Chuck Norris run with Mike Huckabee and they can be Chuckabee?
Elect Chuckabee.
What the fuck? That's why Huckabee can't get elected?
He's not Chuckabee.
Chuckabee.
Man, vote Huckabee.
People
Oh,
can
Chuckabee.
sense that there's the
Okay.
potential for something cool there, but then he's not doing it, so they don't vote for him.
Yeah.
That's really holding
Sorry,
him back.
sorry. to
It's kind of
interrupt
like
you.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, but to get back to him, Joe Piscopo, I think, really stole the show because he was in each one of the kids' fantasies as a bad guy. So he was really over the top. And
Don't stop me now. I'm on a roll. Does anyone remember that commercial where Joe Piscopo from Miller Lite? He was like, he was dressed up like the Fat Boys,
Yes.
Yeah.
and then he's all, I'm on a roll. That's what he said. And they
It's
rolled him
just
away.
that it's so as awful as the movie.
Well, yeah, but
I would say he used to be good, but he was never really that good.
No, he was terrible.
He's really never good.
But you know, he did
Piscopo
have
does
that.
Broadway.
scene, like,
you know what? He was good in Johnny Dangerously.
Definitely, he was great in Johnny.
And he had
Dangerously.
some, even though it was a little bit too, ingratiating. His Frank Sinatra was solid. He had some funny stuff on Saturday.
Yeah, well, it's on SNL show. He's
opposite Eddie Murphy.
But to wrap it up, I mean, if it's right up there with all those kind of weird bad '80s kid action movies.
Wasn't even in the 80s, though.
yeah.
But it felt like it though.
Yeah,
like
it's a hangover
and you know
movie.
how the early '90s is really just like the late '80s, especially now when you look back at it. Like how really the tail end, the beginning of the new decade is really the end of the previous decade.
It's more like the decades begin and end in the middle.
Kinda,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
It's like
kinda
it's
do.
not
It's
like
like it's 1492, but only a little bit later.
Right.
It just doesn't turn over midnight.
Exactly.
When it becomes 1990. It's like it goes a little bit, but yeah. So, I guess I'd give it 2 stars. 'Cause although I enjoyed watching it, I really can't say it's worth more than 2 stars. So, it's fun to watch, but you couldn't give it any kind of critical credence.
What if you could give it 3.5?
If I give it 2.5, I would still give it 2.
But he said 3.5.
Okay, I realized
Still get it,
at this point that we didn't do a synopsis of the film.
Oh.
Oh,
So let me.
job there, Ed.
Let me.
Does one actually need to be said?
well,
stuff happens.
Where's Kenzie?
for continuity, Kenzie
All right,
is.
because you usually pitch to her, right?
Yeah,
There was
'cause
a
she's
guy
And he was not hot.
she's in Vegas.
I wonder, now we'll never know
this
Chuck
week,
Norris from the Bone
Yeah,
Zone.
you hit it now.
Is
How are we gonna know?
Here we go. Here we go.
Bone Zone.
Here's the short synopsis of from IMDb by Anonymous of Sidekicks. A bullied teen who fantasizes about being Chuck Norris' sidekick trains in martial arts to fulfill his dreams.
Yep.
That's basically
That's
it. And
pretty
the
much
film,
All right,
as
that's
we said,
pretty much it.
directed by Aaron Norris and starring Chuck Norris, Jonathan Brandis, Beau Bridges, Richard Mall,
Lord.
and
Tall dude right there.
Oh,
that's it.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks for tuning in today.
Be sure to tune
Week.
in next week when we're going
okay.
to be reviewing the movie we see today.
Okay, so now
You
let's,
should have
Ned,
called
I'm
in
John, I'm
last
Garrett, I'm
week
Jen.
for what we did before. This feels like that Mr. Show sketch now.
Pre-tape.
No
You're
more
calling
news.
in.
No more news.
Stop calling in about black crime. That was last week.
no more news. Oh yeah, and Mako. Oh yeah, and Danica McKellar, TV's
kidding.
Winnie Cooper.
Yes,
Right.
who
That's
grew
right.
up to be like one of the hottest women on the
Yes,
planet.
yes.
Really?
And-
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's smoking.
I trouble myself over this
And a
because she
fucking-
always comes up on those lists, and I always think,
And a certified
No.
genius to boot.
Oh yeah,
too.
she's a
Yeah,
math.
she's
She's a
Mensa,
math whiz.
thanks,
Yeah.
And Mako was cool as the poor man's Mr.
Mako,
Miyagi.
right?
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
Oh, that's
Toshiro
right.
Mifune, except not.
You mean Master
Because white
Splinter?
people can only say
Wasn't he the
so many
voice of Master Splinter?
He,
Was he
you know,
the voice of
it's
Master
funny because I
Splinter?
never thought
think
she was
so.
hot like as a kid when I watched the Wonder Years, but then seeing her now as an adult, I'm like, wow, she's
Well,
hot.
I got some mommy issues, right? And I can remember my mom saying when Wonder Years was on, "Oh, she's going to be a beautiful woman,"
Yeah.
and I don't want to accept that judgment, and I don't.
You have to be wrong.
Shit, you accept it from us.
I know. I mean, okay. So I guess she is. I've seen adult pictures of her. Adult pictures. We all.
Nice.
I've seen pictures
What,
of
what
her
was that
as an
site,
adult.
Garrett? I
Yeah.
need that stat.
Right.
John, I need to go to the bathroom too.
There's- yeah.
Okay. All right.
Something's gone wrong in my pants.
Okay. Garrett did not watch Sidekicks with us last week.
And I'm doubtful I can fill 5 minutes, except through filling 5 minutes. But
Well,
I'll give you a few
go
things.
ahead.
And
Go
then,
ahead.
And then I'll kick to Zeb because I don't have a whole lot here.
Take it away.
Is to say
So
that
what's to
I
say?
remember 1992. And what I remember about this movie is walking about other movies, seeing the poster in the lobby and thinking, Jesus, what a waste of time. I can't believe this has been made or that somebody will watch it. And I can remember at that point in my life, I was very aware of sort of popular criticism, and in particular, how I did not generally agree with Roger Ebert. Now, in the years since,
I was totally a Siskel man, too.
Yeah, I've come to believe that Roger wasn't off nearly as much as I thought. I just disagreed with him because, you're a young person or whatever. But I remember he
gotta
really
hate
beat the shit out of Sidekicks.
Yeah, that's not.
And it was
not
it was
hard.
negatively quoted, and that became, I think, a part of its marketing campaign for just a little while. That Roger doesn't like this movie, so maybe you can to find out why. And I just have never had an easy time accepting Chuck Norris as being anything but the guy that Bruce Lee beats up.
Yeah.
And
Chest
that's
hair.
like his high water mark as far as I can tell. So that he was going to be this sage older guy, I could never wrap my hands around that. So that when I heard this last week, you'd screened it on purpose in this, in this August setting among peers, equals, and betters. I thought, my goodness, what a thrill. Except that I have to confess I've never seen it. And given what I'm hearing tonight, I'm doubting I will.
Not missing out on
Yeah.
Not missing anything.
You dodged a bullet.
But another little stinger to say about it is like the kinds of programming that are created for tweeners, I guess that's a term that's come about in the last 10 years or so,
totally.
are often very awful. Often. I mean, thinking back to the stuff that was pitched at me at age 9 to 15 or so,
Oh, yeah.
was typically pretty terrible until I discovered Jean-Claude Van Damme, where it's self-consciously terrible, but at least he looks good doing the splits, right?
Except for in JCVD.
Oh, that
Which
I'm
is-
screening it this fall.
Oh,
Yeah, for class. I'm making kids watch that
That
shit.
his-
because
Yeah.
they can learn some things.
his monologue
Oh,
alone.
it's brilliant.
That's it.
The
It's
raising
amazing.
crane shot is great.
Yeah.
I totally
Awesome.
that and Time Cop would be a great.
That's his magnum opus.
Yeah,
right
there you
there.
go. There you
And
go.
I've watched Bloodsport an awful lot, so I got some. Anyway, what I'm trying to drive at is, I think all of us are affected by a similarity when we talk about sort of that period of our lives. That most of the programming we deal with is always bad, and I think we sort of know that.
Yeah.
But we haven't been allowed to participate in adult life very well through the adults in our lives, be they parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, who believe that we're immature or stupid. That's usually how it's played out. You don't really know better. Well, of course I do. I'm not a dumbass. I'm just young.
Right.
And the stuff that tends to be pitched at young people tends to be dumbass and not worth their time, but it's the only thing available.
Yeah.
There was an analogy that I
appeals
remember a
directly to
teacher
them.
shared with me one time about junk food, right? If you have nothing but a sea of junk food, you'll eat it when you're hungry. Even though you don't want anything. You don't really desire it, but it's what's available, so you'll have it.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of junk food, I think.
It was kind of martial arts junk food.
Yeah.
And you know it's awful.
Well,
Right.
Also, I think in particular, if you are into martial arts as a kid, it's speaking like to you in a more specific way.
Because you are
Yeah.
a kid, right?
Right.
This is a vehicle
Yeah.
for you to see how you might mature and become expert, or at least better than you are.
Well, and it's focusing on something that's like sort of special about you and different because most people don't do it.
Right.
Well, and it's
You know.
empowering to the kids who would be like that kid, who would feel like on
Right.
the outside and like,
Right.
he's obviously despised by all of his peers, not just the kids who bully him and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
You
it
don't
is that
fit.
fantasy because he gets to come out and
But
win
I'll
at the
be
end.
I mean, for damn sure, Chuck Norris doesn't give a rip about you, boy. I mean, there's no way I accept that, and no way he accepted that. It appears. I guess then I'm just trying to say that in the favor of your choice, I get that the way that you become an older person is going through these trials of trying to find media. I don't want to say art because that's a little bit too big a word, but that's kind of what it is, because I think from a young age we're all taught that art has a certain valence in making you a citizen of the world. And when you grasp onto something that says you have a value or you matter, you think, oh, this is the shit. Even if you also kind of know this is dreadful and I really
shit.
don't like it, but I've got nothing else.
Yeah.
This is what I can cling to.
Yeah. That's
And it
interesting.
strikes me that's kind of what this choice is for you. It's that thing from the noise of adult life. And I can think about 92, and there's a lot of good stuff I can think about
Yeah.
92 that you probably
Somewhat.
weren't allowed to go see or didn't have interest in because you hadn't gotten there yet. But then the stuff that was hanging over from the 80s you didn't have out on YouTube, and you couldn't get streaming off Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon. So it wasn't available to you, the riches that you could have had as an alternative. And if you're dropped off at the movie theater on a Sunday afternoon, $10 in your pocket, you're for sure going to get Red Vines.
Right.
You're going to get a big fucking Coke. And then you're going to go see this.
And you're gonna see Sidekicks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Because
I'm pretty
Unforgiven's
sure.
going to be some crusty-ass fuckers just killing each other, although it's genius. Or you're going to be looking at the previews for Crying Game, which is free because they can't speak English, although they're in Ireland. And it's like that is the way the world works. So I get that you would choose this, and I get that there are things I would revisit. And I get that I would probably do that privately because everybody else would think I'm a
And
crazy
he thought he
person.
couldn't do 5 minutes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So and so, not having seen it, let's go to
You're
Zeb.
the smartest
All right.
man at
Yeah.
the table. 5 minutes to talk about this.
All right, Zeb, take it away.
Jesus fucking Christ.
The big JMC.
The
Sidekicks.
Chuck Norris's greatest role was being a shill for investing in silver on late night TV. Hi, I'm Chuck Norris, here to tell you about investing in silver. It's
Don't
the
forget
safest investment.
He does that exercise machine with Christy Brinkley.
Oh
too.
yeah, I
Told
remember
you.
that.
Like,
Yeah, I told you,
it's
I
just
have
an
one.
infomercial show. And I remember my first Chuck Norris movie, too. It was fucking Delta Force.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Yeah.
see it because of Chuck Norris. I saw it because of Lee fucking Marvin
Yeah.
in
Nice.
it.
A real badass.
And not only Lee Marvin, but George Kennedy and Joey Bishop and all these Jewish actors that
Right.
were in it as the Jewish actors
Right.
that get kidnapped.
Was it set in the Borscht Belt? Borscht Belt cinema.
Borscht Belt
right.
cinema.
I like it.
And I was like, oh, Chuck Norris. All right, cool. And I, for the life of me, can't remember too much Chuck Norris cinematic action, although I do remember the Saturday morning cartoon of Chuck Norris and his friends.
Yes, the Karate Commando.
And
Yes.
then it was like everywhere you went, it was like Chuck Norris mania. And, you know, you would be at Kmart browsing the comic book section, then you see Black Belt magazine with Chuck Norris on
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And every kid wanted to be in karate or some form of martial arts thanks to Chuck Norris. But when you look back at his cinematic efforts, it's like, what the fuck was
did
that
he,
all about?
Yeah, what did he even do? He did nothing
So
that was
I-
good.
I
Lone
remember
Wolf
it-
McQuade.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
That is
it
a
doesn't.
fucking
It
movie.
doesn't
Is it
matter
really?
if it was
It was
good.
Bruce
He
Lee,
did
right?
a lot. Lone Wolf McQuade was his best one.
Okay.
but he did Eye for an Eye. All the Delta Force
He
movies.
worked real steady through the
Yeah,
70s.
Yeah, he did a
Good
ton
Guys
of
Wear
movies, yeah.
Black.
And they're
Yeah.
good? They're cool?
No, I don't know that they are, but they're like Jason Statham movies.
Okay.
Where you got the
Yeah,
polished
they're just
action
there,
cinematography.
but I haven't seen any.
They all
Okay.
suck. They all
Yeah.
suck.
The
Right.
Octagon. I've seen.
It's
all
Hangover.
of them.
I know he did the
I
Big
have
Brawl.
not, and
Yeah,
I
Big
remember
Brawl's good.
going to Man Theaters,
Man,
and,
theater.
and
yeah.
Sidekicks was
right,
playing there.
right.
And it was a Sunday afternoon, and I wanted to see a movie. I didn't know what movie was going to be shown because we didn't have fucking Fandango back in the day. You actually had to open up the newspaper, see what was playing,
Oh,
and
God.
hope to
And
God that the showtimes were
Thank you
correct.
You're in
for
a
calling
cast
movie
manifested,
phone.
so you can't even
Yeah,
read it.
so you just go there, and it was
Press
like,
Y.
wow, Sidekick, starring the kid from Sequest
Oh yeah, that's right.
and Chuck Norris.
even better.
I think Sequest start the year after? I don't
Sequest had to have been after.
Let me look.
No, I thought
Oh my
Sequest
God,
started
Sequest.
before.
I want to say it's
Yeah.
in '91.
It was
the-
around
or
the same time.
Yeah.
Which he was in with all that jazz as
Roy
Roy
Scheider.
Scheider.
Right, it was.
Oh wow.
There were some
Right.
hot chicks on that show.
Kevin
If
though.
only you
Bacon.
could have broken into song.
And so I'm like, okay, so Sidekicks, and it's like the Burbs. Ooh, what's the Burbs about?
The Burbs.
Yeah.
Classic.
Like,
Please tell me you
that's-
chose the Burbs.
I chose
Good
the
movie.
Burbs
Yes.
because it had Brother Theodore in it.
Oh, okay.
On the poster, I'm like, Brother Theodore's in this movie?
Who is like the greatest, like one
And
of the
Henry
top
Gibson?
comics, dude. Who was my favorite on Laugh-In, and Brother Theodore. That guy is fucking great.
Yeah, we saw the Burbs in theaters. when it came out.
And we started researching Brother Theodore too, and like watching his clips on Letterman. Dude, the guy's fucking brilliant. I mean, he's dead, but I wish I was a fan of his when I saw the Burbs.
So,
Like,
well,
loved
I
it. We
remember
loved
him
it. He
from
was
his
Gollum in The
appearances on
Hobbit.
Letterman and The
Is
Hobbit.
he the voice of that?
Yeah,
No kidding.
He's
He's
like
Gollum,
Rankin
yeah.
Bass cartoon.
Slap
Right.
my money down and said one for the Burbs, please. And I
Yeah.
do not regret that decision.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
The
especially because you were able to make up for it last week.
yeah, and
Right
so
here.
last week
Oh, yeah,
was
for
a
free.
vindication that I made the
Things
correct
are right
decision.
choice, yeah.
Things
Free.
came full circle.
You're
With
welcome.
that, after having seen Sidekicks and its Karate Kid knockoff, kind
Yeah.
of following in the same footsteps of the troubled kid at school that gets bullied, gets mentored, overcomes his whateverness, and then becomes the champion of the game. The supporting cast.
It's like the Karate Kid GoBots. It's like
Yeah,
robots
it
version of
basically
it.
is.
It's like-
So the
Oh,
supporting,
that's good.
So the
That's a nice
supporting
reference.
cast was just like there just to collect a paycheck. Everybody from Mako to Joe Piscopo to the
Hey, they
chick
gotta
from
pay
Rainbow
bills,
2.
You know,
Yeah.
they got to
Yeah,
work.
they got.
That's
kids
why
to
Michael
feed,
Caine does shitty movies.
And with that,
working.
to kind of compare
Jaws
this movie
4.
to some of the past movies we've seen, really doesn't do this type of movie justice. So I'm going to compare this movie to other movies of that genre because it's like, oh, compare Sidekicks to
Is this
the
like the
Steam.
Karate Kid, the new Karate Kid?
Oh yeah, just compare this to Kenzie's early picks.
You need
So I'm going to compare this
a
to
scale
like
of between
movies
1 and
of
0.
that ilk.
The
where
golden age compared the sidekicks
so
to the
it's
golden
kind of like
age.
comparing it to the kid that learned how to fly and these tweeny movies that came out during that time. I would give this movie a 3, albeit not a masterpiece, not really entertaining. There is some qualities in there that make it somewhat entertaining.
Sure. It's not a
It's
complete
so bad that
waste.
it's so good.
It's not a
Yes.
complete waste of celluloid.
That's your quote. 3 stars, not entertaining.
Put that on the fucking movie poster. So 3
Put that on the
stars.
back of the box.
It might sell if you say Zebedee Navarro.
Zebedee Navarro, EDD candidate,
That's
says,
right. All right. Right. There you are.
not yet a doctor.
right.
All
But
right.
if I could cut on you, I would.
Yeah, call me 4 years from now and maybe he'll carry more weight.
Right.
Okay, Chris, we've already spoken to you because you
Yes.
did this to us. So,
Well,
Gandhi.
Chris should say his stars really quick.
Oh,
Yeah, what
okay.
stars
Didn't
would you
actually
give
say
it?
his
Well, would you
stars.
rather watch this or Planet Earth or what was it?
Earth. It was Earth. The 1931. The
The Russian one?
The Russian one.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Russian one.
shit.
Dude, I'd
Yeah,
rather watch
Sidekicks.
Earth all
Yeah.
day.
Sidekicks? Okay.
Almost any day of the week, unless you're paid to be there and have to show it because you must.
Well, there's that.
I think I'd rather watch Earth.
So it's better.
Well,
Yeah.
My
no,
picks
that-
are getting better, right?
That is an interesting argument, though.
But Condi's onto something because Earth kind of has some value.
yeah, it was
Different-
It
well-
was very developmental.
education.
Yeah.
I think largely now it's mostly educational value.
And for-
especially
and
if
for
you're
the
studying.
time.
Like,
And only a certain kind of
Early
person.
Russian history.
yeah.
It holds some value for that and giving you a snapshot of life in Russia before the revolution
Well, yeah,
started.
and the equipment that they had to work with, they had some
Yeah, it's
excellent
primitive.
Well,
shots.
I would also say that it is an important corollary to other work if you were studying early Russian cinema.
Yeah, no, it is.
So if your
So-
purpose is to study cinema, go with Earth. If your purpose
It was
is
like-
if your purpose is to smoke pot, eat Doritos, and waste a Saturday night,
watch the birds.
but here's
Yeah,
the question,
that's actually
though, Chris.
True.
Like, you picked this movie because it has a meaning moment from this age where you were, what, 10 or 12 years old? something
Sure,
like
yeah,
this?
nostalgic,
Okay.
yeah.
So what were, say, 2 or 3 other
13, I think.
movies that drew your eye during that period of your life, in addition to Sidekicks? I don't know that you need to bring them to the table and make us all watch it, but
What was
are
it,
these other
91 or
titles?
92?
92.
Yeah,
Okay.
roughly that period.
So you could probably go plus or minus like a year or two.
Yeah.
I was drinking so much vodka.
Really,
in
at that age?
92.
I want to say good
And-
for you, but bad.
I remember that is when Cypress Hill came out.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I don't remember a
Black
whole
Sunday
lot.
came out in 91.
I don't think
Yeah.
I even watched this movie when it came out. I think
Okay.
I watched it in VHS form. So,
Yeah, I did.
Which is a particularly fantastic form.
Yeah. well, I had it. So
All right,
it was
right.
the best. It was the best one. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was fantastic. It was terrible.
Because I'm having little brain droppings while you're talking about this formative moment, or I'm reflecting on you talking about it. Now I'm talking about it again. But like I'm thinking about when I was about that age.
Yeah.
Like, the things that were on my horizon were like Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, I
Yeah.
loved that movie.
You know, was
God,
like
I
a
loved
big
that
one.
movie.
Goonies had happened right
Yeah,
about
Goonies.
then.
Yeah, that was one
Indiana
of the
Jones
picks.
and
yeah.
the Temple of Doom was right then.
See,
for me at least.
Temple of Doom let me down in so many ways. We
Well, no,
could go
it's,
on about
it's
that.
a
but-
shitty movie.
Well,
Yeah.
How many stars?
Okay,
How many
look,
stars,
no,
Chris?
no,
Just
no.
stars.
We will not be assailing Temple of Doom with a bunch of unfounded criticism right now. Okay.
I love Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
The Doom rules first and foremost. Yes.
No, that's
It
a
was
podcast in and of
It is,
itself.
Chris.
That's a whole.
It's
that's
another
a-
day.
that's a
How
whole-
many stars, Chris? For the love of God.
Sorry, I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna say 2 stars for this. So
2.
Okay,
of
all right.
entertainment, not of unentertainment.
2 stars of entertainment.
Well, we have unentertainment now
We
too,
need
right?
to come
so
up
we
with
should
a
be
word
just-
for unentertainment. now.
Unentertainment.
But we need a term. We need a scientific term. I'll text Matt. Maybe he
Yeah.
can come up
Disentertaining.
Get him to
with,
work.
with something Latin.
has to be some sort of computer model he can
Yeah.
run to
Write a dissertation of it.
Okay. All right. Condi.
Yeah, he better be out looking at some stars tonight. That's all I got to say. Why is he not here talking sidekicks?
I guess his car took a shit.
You'd think you could fix
His
it with some
car ran
super
out of
science or
parts.
something.
Right, maybe, yeah.
Like,
Doesn't he have like
Doesn't he have an
scientists?
abacus on his dashboard?
He hasn't quite cracked the code for his matter transporter yet.
Yeah.
He's still stuck with terrestrial motion.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Sky shared that equation that Spock gave him. You know?
He's in the negative zone.
All right, Condi, tell us about Sidekicks now.
Ooh.
You're on, man. You're on.
I don't know what to say. That well, I know one thing to say, but I'm gonna wait for a little bit to say it. There's a lot. I love Mako. The guy's great.
Subotai.
But
Yeah.
and what wasn't he the voice?
Oh
of
no,
Master
he wasn't
Splinter?
Subotai.
He was the
No,
voice
he
of
wasn't
Master
Subotai.
Splinter.
He was.
no, he's
Yeah.
the-
On
the
an
Ninja
animated
Turtle
show
movie.
or
Yeah,
on the
in
live
the first
action or
Ninja
both?
the first live action one.
Okay.
What,
right.
Ninja Turtles?
Yeah,
What is he?
he was
Splinter, right?
Splinter's
Splinter,
voice.
yeah.
No, it was a black dude that was the voice of Splinter.
No, that's
No.
Shredder.
yeah.
No,
No,
Uncle
the-
Phil was
No,
the
not
voice
in the
of Shredder.
cartoon. In the
No,
movie.
in the
movie.
In the movie. Okay,
Look.
dang it. All right, hang on.
Look
Hang
up
on.
Mako.
All right.
Continue,
Look, I have
Connie.
his
I'm doing it, I'm
IMDb
doing it.
already up here.
I got. He's here. He's right here already. I
You
got.
Sparky young people.
I love being right about movie things and it being wrong.
It's like a.
It is a nice chart,
It's like a
right?
dick waving contest. People getting their phones out and see who can get
Dude,
to
I
IMDb
mean,
first.
It's like one of those things to scoop Ed
I know,
on
'cause
something
he-
musical or movie. Fucking my day's complete. Or no, I know I'm right.
The 2007 Ninja Turtles.
No, that's not what we're talking about here, fella.
That's
The
the one he
original
was.
live action.
No, that
No,
he
thanks.
was. No, he wasn't.
We're talking
well,
the 92
he was
one,
still a Master Splinter, and then I'm still right.
He was
I
no
didn't-
because no.
I didn't
I'm
specify-
right.
I didn't specify a movie. I just said Master Splinter.
Okay.
So you
yes.
can-
No.
you
No.
can
He
yell
was.
at
He was.
Zeb.
He was not Splinter in the Jim Henson Ninja Turtles that I love.
Jim Henson made Ninja Turtles.
He made
He
the
did the
suits.
artifacts.
Yeah.
But he was Splinter in the 2007 computer animated one.
Oh,
It was
okay.
some black dude that was the voice of Splinter. Because I fucking used to adore. Well, I still love that movie, but I was obsessive about that film back in the day.
So
You
I
were.
can't.
Sorry,
I
but
can't
Mako
believe-
was
Past
in
tense,
Conan.
as if it
Yeah,
was
no,
past.
Yeah.
they was still are. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, I know. I
I get
actually
to go in
watch
your
all the time.
bedroom, Ed. Am I going to find a poster overhead
You know, there was a time
with
when it
funny
was,
little marks?
You know what? His character actually doesn't have a name in Conan. He's just billed here as
Right,
the
he's
wizard
just the
narrator.
guy,
He's just a wizard. Yeah.
Yes.
I cry for him because he is Cimmerian and
He
cannot
is
cry.
Conan. He cannot.
He
He can't cry.
Okay, fine.
Isn't it?
So, Connie, we
No,
totally...
Subotai says that.
No,
We took like
Subotai
3
says that.
minutes of your
He's the
monologue.
one.
There's
He's the
not
one.
much to talk
He's the
about
one
with
who's the
sidekicks,
narrator
except,
who
like,
can only tell his tale.
how-
He's the one.
Yes. Okay.
How
Sorry.
am I the only one to mention that Jonathan Brandis killed himself after Sidekicks?
I was going to get to that in mind if nobody else.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
I
I
was like,
thought.
wait.
I,
Oh, no,
I
no,
could
no,
see
no,
how
no.
we get
Whoa,
to
whoa,
this.
to
got
blame,
hang on.
though? Is
No,
that
no,
what you're
no,
saying?
absolutely not. That you couldn't be more wrong, except for the fact that it was
Ladybugs.
after Sidekicks. He killed himself in 2005. Sidekicks came out in 1992.
I know,
So it
but
wasn't directly
so
after.
no, it
Dude,
But,
wasn't.
but that's 13 years later. And 13.
the years
It's
of
a
Sidekicks
witching number.
weighing him down.
In fact, he went on to he
some other
continued to
work,
do and received some acclaim. His career did sort of start to wane, even though he was working. And there was one film he did in particular that he was really looking forward to revitalizing his career. But he wound up on the cutting room floor for most of it, and he ended up hanging himself. But it wasn't
What was that
until
movie?
it was. I've got it.
That was like around the time when everybody was killing themselves, like him. River
It
Phoenix.
was so
he
hip
actually-
to
It
kill
was a
cool
yourself
thing to
back
do.
in those
Yeah.
days.
It was hip.
It was all the rage.
You want to
I tried.
sell it?
I
If you
heard.
wanna
I heard.
make a stand, you commit
He had like
suicide.
several copies
Heartsore.
of
What?
Sidekicks on VHS and Ladybugs
yeah?
on VHS tied to his legs to weigh him down when he was hanging himself.
stacked up the unsold copies of Sidekicks on VHS to jump off
He
of.
filled his trousers to make sure he dropped.
I mean,
we're some cruel fuckers
Yeah, that's
here,
pretty
man.
messed up. We're going to hell.
Holy shit!
It was
used
cheap
to-
in a blank
This movie
tape.
used to
Where the
remind me
party
of
is.
like when I did martial arts in like high school, and I would watch these martial arts movies to see how accurate they were, and this one was just so god awful.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Heart
terrible.
Yeah, he
War.
was
Yeah, yeah.
terrible.
He's not even a
Oh,
martial
is that
artist.
bad, right?
Bruce
Yeah.
Willis,
I
right?
said that
and
like
Colin
a minute
Farrell.
ago.
Okay. So I was busy looking
was
it up.
looking at
Spanakopita.
Good job, man.
I
So yeah, no, Jonathan Brandis was awful in this movie. I think the best thing in this entire movie was the nunchuck kata,
So bad.
where he's
So
using the
bad.
butterfly chucks just to make the noise.
Yes.
That was pretty cool, but I mean, it was horrible. Just
Well, you've
Horrible.
referenced like being a martial artist in training as a young person and idolizing that and having a pattern.
As a
so-
young person, like 17.
well,
16,
a
17?
younger person, right? And
Wait,
I did different athletics growing up, and it's always fun to sort of see yourself through an idealized version of a movie or TV show where you're kind of like, this is what it looks like when it's done well, because you're trying to see yourself in those eyes.
this movie does not do
It
that.
No, and that's why I told Ed before, because he had mentioned he hasn't seen Grosse Point Blank,
Oh, Ed, you're in for a treat.
which
Yeah, I have
I
not.
happen to love that movie,
Yeah.
and I actually did train with Benny the Jet Urquidez at the Jet Center in LA for like off and on for a while. And I told Ed that the fight in that movie between John Cusack
Right.
and Benny the Jet is the most accurate
Of like what it is to go fight.
a fight, martial arts fight that you'll probably see. Like, you know, not like in the ring kind of thing, but if two people that actually knew
We're
martial arts were
We're
fighting,
really
it,
fighting.
would, it
Because
wouldn't be like
they're defensive. They don't want to get hurt, but they want to kill each other, but they can't really because they're good. They
yeah,
know how, they know how
but
to.
and how like John Cusack is actually real deal Holyfield when it comes to like martial arts as well.
Is he? He's a
He
trained
is.
guy.
And so so is people like Blade. I can't think of his name right now.
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. Yeah,
And he's
I've
a
never
generally
seen him
like pretty
fight.
bitchin' athlete.
yeah. I remember with Wesley Snipes had that TV thing when he got like his 5th Dan or something like that, and he had like all of his like black belt friends and stuff there doing like demonstrations, and it was fucking badass.
Rogan called him out. They never fought though.
Do you think that when he first signed up for martial
Did he?
arts and they tried to give him a white belt, like he slapped that out of their hand? Like, don't give me no white
I
belt.
know.
I'm going straight to black.
That's right.
Well, because he always
Always
bets on
bet on
black.
black.
Always
right.
bet on black.
You always bet on black.
That's it.
You
What
don't-
happened to that stewardess?
You don't always pay the taxes on it, but you
That's
always
right.
bet on it
You always- yeah.
Dude, he's been in federal prison, right?
for tax
Yeah.
evasion.
Oh,
He's
no
got
shit.
some. He's got some project he's been working on that's coming out.
Try to
soon,
build his
shortly
ass
He's
back.
also
Well,
going to do another
He's like
Blade
an elder.
movie.
Is he really doing the Blade
Oh,
movie?
I
Yeah.
believe it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I heard
Yeah.
he is.
He's
Well,
gonna
he
get
also
you
references his.
MCU.
They ought to put him in Captain America.
He was in Expendables 3,
I
Yeah,
still didn't
yeah.
see it.
and that he
Don't worry about
references
that,
his
man.
arrest in that as
Don't
well.
worry about that. You want to see some
could
good
also-
Wesley Snipes? You go watch Jungle Fever, Mo Better Blues. Go rewatch Passenger 57.
New Jack City was a
New-
favorite
Oh,
of mine.
man.
Dude,
Sit
whatever.
your black
Drop
ass
zone.
down before I make change. Now, you got to imagine being this white kid saying that to my buddies, right? Oh, no, that was some shit here in Southern California.
I remember we saw New Jack City on like opening day
Oh,
at the
totally.
carousel. I was
Did
like-
you?
Yeah, I was so
Oh,
excited.
man.
Yeah, you got to go watch Drop Zone.
Chris Rock's
Drop
performance
Zone,
too.
right.
Yeah, Chris Rock drew critical raves
He
for
was
that.
really
As-
good in
He
that.
was
Is that
good.
correct?
You gotta get me
Pookie.
out of here.
Yeah,
Pookie.
serious
Yeah.
role for him.
And
Like
then
the
he's-
only thing he did that was good in his life.
CB4
CB4 is pretty good.
Yeah.
That
Dude,
big vest.
come
Dude, and his
on.
stand-up's really funny. He's
I
like,
know, dude, I
He's
just-
not funny.
I
Dude,
just
he's
watched
got some
CB4
fun
literally 2 days ago because I'd been dying to watch it again after seeing Straight Outta Compton because it was eerie. It was crazy how much when
They
watching
overlap.
Straight Outta Compton, I felt I'd already seen
It
in
was
CB4.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
so they must have really based CB4 on the story.
Yeah,
of
because
that.
Chris Rock,
closely did.
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it
Chris
was-
Rock is a real hip hop
Like a-
fan.
like
He
a fan,
loves it.
yeah.
He's like Dave
Well, he grew
Chappelle.
up
Like he
with-
loves
with
it.
That. That
Yeah.
was, he probably knew these guys, or probably does know these guys.
Yeah, like the whole Run DMC bit where they're
Yeah.
like, rhyming to the tape. Like that's
Right.
that's real. You know what I mean?
crazy.
Okay, all right. Well, so Condi
2 stars.
Sidekicks.
2. All right. You know,
In the history of this,
And I
have you
said
guys
with
ever done-
cheese, nigga, you almost got yourself killed over nothing.
Have there ever been like a 0 or 1 star pick in anybody's spread?
there was
Somebody got a 1, right?
yeah,
Somebody
there
got a
was
1 for
there,
this.
there's our lowest rated film.
Probably
and-
Kenzie, right?
no,
It almost doesn't make sense to rate all the films on a 1
that
to
scale, yeah.
5 scale.
You know,
you
I
want me to
think
start
you're right.
doing 10?
No, it's like
No, because they have different purposes.
Because
yeah,
I give
there's
this
like
a
a whole different
1.7
purpose.
like,
Yeah.
as an
For it.
overall movie.
Right,
but
right. I don't know if you guys know this movie, but Best of the Best.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
love
love that
movie.
movie.
1 and
Now-
2
now see,
and 3.
I love that
First
movie
one.
because
First
I saw
one's
it
a good
in
one,
an
yeah.
emotionally vulnerable moment in my teens when I really sort of needed to feel like I can get together with these dudes and we can go figure out a way to whoop ass and win competition,
Yeah.
and we're going to be better because that's not what was going on in my life, right? but I'm quite convinced if I saw it again, I'd be like, yeah, Julia probably should have shot you. I'll bet that it's terrible, but like it fulfills itself. It does something that you need at a time, but it's not rateable. That's the
some
point.
people-
it doesn't scale like
Some
that.
people
Plus-
like Land and Kenzie base their rating on their enjoyment of
The
the
experience,
movie, more
yeah.
the
Or-
experience.
Well, that's a good point.
of
Yeah.
watching it as the
Yeah.
group, and not and that and 'cause, okay, like same thing like with
Like a comedy.
like I gave Sidekicks 2 stars, but I mean, it's watchable.
And you've seen
There's
the right
other movies.
audiences.
There's other movies that I would give 2 stars to that I would be like, oh, don't even bother watching this thing. But
Yeah.
if you're a fan of bad movies and like martial arts movies, you should watch this at least once.
Yeah,
It's
I
part of
bad
that
movie.
world. Yeah.
I take the movie individually because I can't compare it to like Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Right,
or
right.
Some of the
Well,
other ones
that's
we've
kind of what a
seen.
rating system
Yeah,
suggests,
and-
that it's
Yeah, so it's
A two
just
is a
like,
two
you
is
know,
a
I've
two.
seen this,
there's
you
no
know,
way.
it's even though it's bad, you know, it's not so bad, it's good kind of thing. It's not like a fucking pug dog. Oh, it's so ugly, it's cute. No, it's fucking ugly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And, you know,
just-
by the way, there are really ugly babies.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Yeah.
If anybody ever tries to swing you a tail, there are.
You heard it here first, folks.
They are
Ugly babies do exist.
ugly
Dropping
babies are
that
so
bomb.
so
Totally
ugly.
do.
'Cause
Dropping
They,
that bomb
they
on
have
ya.
literally no excuse to be anything but what they are, and what they are is ugly.
Ugly babies and old people, they all smell like piss and Cheerios.
Just for the record, I believe, and it predates the Facebook, but our lowest rated film overall would be Standing Ovation.
Oh God.
I'm pretty sure everybody gave that a 1, of course, with the exception of me, who gave it a 5.
Do you think Kenzie gave
I
it?
would have given that a
No,
2.
Kenzie,
If I had
in
rated
what
that
I
one.
consider to be extremely hypocritical because of the pieces of shit she fucking likes, gave it a 1 as well. And I was like, you know
surprised by
what?
that.
No way. No way.
Did you give
Kenzie,
it?
are
Did you
you
give it a
here?
5?
I gave it a 5, of course.
I would. If I had rated that, I would have given it a 2.
Okay.
Well, hey, all
I
right.
would not have given it a 1.
All right.
So, what has been the crowd favorite? Like, what was the
Oh.
best thing?
Pretty much pick
whatever this
anything
fool
that I
picks.
pick.
Yeah,
Hey, no,
usually
that's not
condoms
true.
picks.
Mine are pretty highly rated too.
I
Except
think
for
the
Shane.
Raid is probably the highest
Oh, is
rated
it really?
Which
movie.
one? The Raid?
The Raid
That's
Redemption.
the
Like
Indonesian
nobody-
Yeah, no,
Nobody
not
didn't like
not the first raid, the second one.
Was the second one
The,
did
because
that one
the
rate
first,
higher?
fuck yeah, because
I
the
couldn't
first
remember.
one, because the first one is like holy shit, and then the second one is like, dude, are you kidding?
I think
There
like
should be
literally
ratings.
my average is like a
That's also a
4.7.
great
shit.
quote right
So
there.
yeah, okay.
Sell those movies.
How many dude are you kiddings would you give it?
So
Ed Rosa, KKSM personality, says.
Does it need more than one?
Well, yeah, because they
Holy
had those
shit!
wonderful shots
With-
and like
with
everything
asterisks.
too.
Yeah. SH,
Yeah.
pound.
but
like
yeah, you've had pretty consistently the highest ranked picks.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
John's probably number 2.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Oh, dang. Oh, wait. I thought you were calling him.
number 2.
I thought you were saying shit.
I think Shane probably put my rating right down.
Ooh.
It just, I just nosedived.
That seemed
It
to
definitely
hurt you
did
a
not
bit.
help
It
us.
did. That knocked me off the A-list.
Shane wasn't that bad.
No, hey, I liked it, but a lot
No,
of people
it's not that it was bad, but
Everybody
it didn't do
should
him
be
any
aware of it,
favors.
but
It
yeah.
ju- it just
people
kind
didn't
of,
like
yeah,
it.
it just didn't stack up well. All right, well, let's get my 2 cents out as quickly as I can
Your
about
2 stars.
Sidekicks.
No, that was your
Fine.
5 minutes, man. What are you talking about?
How
We
many stars?
exhausted it for you.
Okay, all right. So here we go. I have some notes about this film that I want to read. Firstly, regardless of the quality of this film and how it ranks, I felt that this film was an important palate cleanser for
Oh
us.
no, okay.
It was,
Considering-
it was the
Very
sorbet
true.
We
of
had-
the Cinemarijuana
That's
Theatre.
it. It's like when Chainsaw does the tension breaker in summer school. This was the equivalent of that. This was like,
Well
dude,
done, host.
I'm like, dude, all these fucking Academy Award winning like movies.
I
like,
can't take all these
all
good
this
movies.
all this quality.
I
Can't
know.
I just have something that's like not good and just fucking? I don't have to worry about like, oh, now I have to figure out who's better than who. Like, can I just
Yeah.
see something fucking stupid?
That was
And
a big
it
part of my
fit the
pick. Is
bill.
like it just felt the other picks were heavy, and so I didn't
Well, and
feel
your
it.
picks are almost always like kind of like lighter and like fun stuff. Like I,
Yeah, like-
that's why I like
yeah,
your
Breakfast
picks.
is-
Earth,
And-
Earth, so
Earth.
light, so
Well,
fun.
okay.
Child fucking bride.
I wasn't-
Dude, it was
and-
like a day at
I was
Disneyland.
gone
I
that
know.
week.
And might I make a note of one of his greatest picks is on Netflix right now, The Monster Squad.
Oh my
Nice.
god!
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now that's lighthearted.
I saw that like last week. Too.
And I
Did
also
Wolfman still have nards?
Oh hell yeah, not anymore. He got blown up.
I also will say I think it's important to watch films like this from time to time for parity, for balance. I think that as a cinema appreciation society,
Yeah,
part of
that's
a
right.
I-
balanced
it
cinematic
is.
breakfast.
It is. Sometimes
Most of what you've selected in this society has been pretty good on a global standard.
And balance.
We need a little junk food now and again.
Right.
You know,
There's always
we're
room
pretty
for
good about
cinnamon
our
rolls.
meat and vegetables. So I think it's important. This has been since I think Hamburger the Motion Picture. I think this has been our most.
Buster Burger.
You
guys saw that?
America's getting
Holy
hungry.
shit.
You know it. I showed it.
Yeah.
Dude, Dick Butkus is so rad in that movie.
I'm still so bummed that I was gone that
Dude,
week
what-
because I do
Cops
so
of the
love that
drive-thru.
Man,
movie.
I want to start singing the Buster Burger song right now.
That
'cause it
part
gets
where
stuck in my
they
head every
strap in
time.
those like pickle statues and
Dub
just
in the
dump like
music.
secret sauce on their heads. Like what?
Look, shut up about Hamburger.
Fuck you, Ed.
I
Go ahead and see it.
okay, I do want to mention that this film ranks a 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Let's see.
Which seems generous.
To piggyback on something you said, John, I definitely felt this wasn't this. As soon as the scene happens where the teacher shows up and the ninja doesn't go away, I'm like, this is schizophrenia.
Yeah.
This is no longer daydreams.
This is
isn't-
like the Birdman of 1992.
Right. Or a beautiful
God.
mind.
Right.
A beautiful
right.
mind where
reality,
he's
but
being
that's
he's
still
like, it's
there.
like, okay, no, he's not daydreaming. He's being menaced by visions that he can't escape from.
Right.
That's
All
what
right,
the Norris 2
ninjas
had
coming
in
to
mind.
fucking get
Not
him.
only that, but his fantasies replaced the teacher with Danica Keller.
Well,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
interesting too.
Now-
when
now
it
that
made
makes
that
sense.
switch.
yeah.
When he stopped lusting for the teacher and started lusting for Winnie Cooper.
We had
Wife
mentioned
of David
Chuck Norris
Solich
did
down
it as a favor.
Oh.
I did want to mention about Jonathan Brandis because I unlike everyone else, will not shit all over his grave.
Well, I'm not going to knock crown in front of people, you know.
I actually, Jonathan Brandis, while true, he never did anything like Oscar winning or anything like that. I'm a big fan of his from the film Ladybugs.
I can't get no respect.
Awesome
with
movie.
Rodney Dangerfield.
That's soccer, right?
God,
Two,
love
yeah,
that.
227's Jack Hay and
Jack.
Mr.
Mary
Belvedere's
Jane.
Eileen Graff. Mr. Belvedere's Eileen
Oh, yeah,
Graff.
yeah,
Marsha
Marsha
Owens
Owens.
as Rodney Dangerfield's love interest,
Yeah.
and that's the hardest part to get me to swallow. That Rodney Dangerfield is a fucking love interest. That's Rodney Dangerfield from the grave. Tell me what's up.
No respect.
And I do feel bad, like, because the thing is, like, Brandis obviously had issues and. You know, like, because he wasn't totally not successful. He actually
asthma.
he had some success, but he did commit suicide.
He's
so
like one of those people that everybody thinks you should love, and so therefore it makes everybody kind of hate him.
yeah. Well, I was
man.
I have a note written down
Like
here that
most
says
of our president.
Chris killed Brandis. I must have I must have wanted to respond to something you said about him when you went, and I just wrote down Chris killed Brandis. I don't know, but I will
Let's
mention
spread that rumor.
just a piece of
It happened.
trivia. Just a
Don't know
piece
what
of
you're talking
trivia
about, but it
about Jonathan Brandis. He actually auditioned for Anakin Skywalker for Attack of the Clowns.
That would have been better.
That would have
Oh
been better.
no way!
That would
You
have
know,
been better.
it will.
Yeah.
I think it would have been like Liam Neeson in Episode 1. We can't say it was better,
It
but
would've
he
been
was
worse.
good.
Yeah, he would have been. Better.
He would. He
That's
was. He was
crazy.
all right.
Christensen.
It wasn't better.
Yeah.
What the fuck
You
is
know-
Hayden Christensen doing anyways?
Right.
He's just being the
Not
guy who
killing
was
himself?
Darth Vader.
Hopefully he's
He's signing
You know-
autographs for like $150 a pop, probably
Right.
at some convention.
He's not even
somewhere.
doing that. He's blowing
he's-
rough tricks in the back of the parking
Totally.
lot.
He's probably. I was
He's
hoping
barebacking in his pickup
He-
truck.
he's-
buried under a mountain of hate mail.
Yeah.
I mean, he's trying to get Jumper Part 2 in the
Him and,
works.
him and Ahmed Best are trying to get some off Broadway version of My Own Private Idaho going.
So far off Broadway, it's a patio playhouse in
So,
Escondido.
that's it. So off Broadway, it's in real life. Just to conclude my thoughts, because that's the end of my notes. This movie was shitty, and I just couldn't. I try not to make these things political because that really has no business here. But I just can't. I
can't see us coming next.
just
Truck to
can't
be
get
thing
over.
again?
I just can't get over what a fucking douchebag Chuck Norris is in real life, and his moronic support for Mike Huckabee makes me fucking loathe him. But and that being said, like I said, you could tell that he hated being in this movie the whole time.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could hear his teeth crunching up like in his mouth. Like,
I had to memorize these lines long enough to speak them.
Yeah, yeah,
Pretty much.
and like it's like he like
wanted it out.
when he shows up, it's like there's supposed to be like some warmth between him and Jonathan Brandis because he's coming to save the day for his ass, and Brandis idolizes him, and it's like, dude, you could I saw like a sheet of just ice like go up like in between them, like Norris like just was not.
I kept wanting Norris to kill the kid when he was done killing, like getting rid of the other guys.
That
Yeah.
could have made it a work of genius.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
good.
In a
Yeah.
whole different
And if
direction.
Yeah.
he'd eaten his heart and done things to his body,
Yeah.
it would have
And-
been like Psycho 6.
And then
that
it
could
could-
have been great.
It could be like
Punches his head
manifesting in
off
real
his
life.
Yeah.
like
It was.
stigmata
I
stuff.
also thought a lot about
Like-
UHF.
Oh.
While watching it, because the bits where Weird Al goes to rescue Stanley
Oh,
Spadowski, and he has the
right.
Rambo fantasy at
Yeah.
the end.
Totally.
Totally
and he
reminded me.
and it kind of the same thing throughout the movie. Every time he keeps going away to fantasy
Like
land.
George Newman in
Yeah,
UHF, he
yeah.
slips into like a kind of a dream.
I mean, if
Right.
you've got Norris, why not,
Yeah.
showcase Norris?
That's it. Has anybody mentioned that it's like also like a completely like not even second-rate Karate Kid knockoff?
Well, I,
Yeah.
did, I
Touched
did mention that
on it.
Mako was the poor man's Mr.
Miyagi-san.
but
Yeah.
it's just
Uh,
Karate Kid.
Want to talk? Are you following Zeb up again? Because I thought I heard that out of Zeb.
Oh, okay.
already.
Well, I was just making sure. That's probably when
Do
I
you-
was
do you
looking
even
shit up.
listen
He
to this
doesn't listen.
podcast?
I no. Actually, what I do is I plug these. I actually can't hear any of you motherfuckers, and that's I do this to get
Just
away.
music?
I have
You're
have
like the
music going
autistic
on
kid with the fucking
in
headphones.
here.
Oh, he's sensory depression. No, fuck you.
You're actually
kid's
listening
not
to a
special.
different, better podcast on your
Ed's
headphones.
listening to Enya right now.
Yes, that's
Sail
it.
away.
Sail away. Right.
John kicks him when it's time to talk or not talk.
No, it's more subtle than it's just like a one tap or a two taps. That way it doesn't like. I don't alert anybody. We still have a few moments. Is there anything else we'd like to tear apart about this film?
What the fuck with those motorcycle gang in the beginning?
Did they
how long does it take a motorcycle gang to take over a Chinese
Did we
restaurant?
lose a couple reels there?
Yeah.
Like all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like it's like, oh, like I'll go see if our
Yeah.
fried rice is ready, and then all of a sudden it's like
Well,
motorcycle gang.
Okay, also, before they arrived, we see Beau Bridges and his date at the table, and every other table the chairs are on top of, implying that it's sort of after hours. That the
Yeah.
restaurant is no longer serving dinner, but the conversation is so warm between these two people that they've stayed. And then,
But she owned. That's her,
the restaurant she owned.
oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But,
Oh,
but
okay.
even then, but then they'd still be there.
And then
I
if they
forgot
go
about
back
the-
and come out, there's a
Okay.
motorcycle
Well, no,
gang.
see that. Okay, that makes even more sense because she owns it, right? Okay, a detail I forgot. But then that's it. Then we cut to something else. Cut back and there's the fucking motorcycle gang.
And it's
like,
not like it's
harassing
them
these
coming
people.
through the door. It's like they're already like at the table, like eating, like
Yeah.
giving Beau Bridges shit, and it's like, when did this happen?
Can we talk about how
What
it
was she in the
promotes
kitchen for?
like alternative medicine to like
Oh, real
like
medicine.
actual like Western medicine practice? Like the kid's like dying from asthma. He's hospitalized like what twice or one time.
Yeah.
And then he's
some
like,
Vicks or Vapor Rub.
yeah,
They're trying
And
to
the guy-
suggest it's like psychosomatic or something.
right. And he suggests it's just placebo too. Like it's not even. Turns out it's just like crap he makes up. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just
If
want
Both
to. I want to
Huckabee, he could
discuss
give you
how,
Christian magic medicine.
yeah,
how
that's
Ed
exactly
is
what
so
it feels
off his
like. It's
game
like
today.
you gotta trust in the
well,
Lord.
you mean just
like,
because I didn't remember he said something about it
Twice.
being like Karate Kid?
And then there was the.
You know what else too? It's probably because I'm like sitting here like on pins and needles, ready to like fucking just throw myself to the floor because I'm expecting a fucking truffle to come fly in my head like a goddamn fucking 50 caliber round.
why can't that happen? Did we talk about how what's his face Daniel is the bad guy, like a la the Karate Kid?
You mean that
argument?
Karate Kid YouTube video?
No, but
No.
but about this movie,
Yeah, because Jonathan Brandis,
Brandis is the bad guy.
I don't think he really. I'd
He
have to
gets
rewatch
harassed
it.
by that other
They
kid.
were picking on him a bunch,
Picking on him a little
pushing
bit, but
him,
they
and,
were just like beating his ass wholesale at school.
Well, he didn't beat their ass wholesale either.
He
No,
tried to-
but-
Didn't they put their foot on his chest when he was having an asthma attack?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
attempted
pretty normal,
murder.
That's pretty normal. Oh yeah, I do that
Straight
whenever
up.
Well,
anybody
and
has an
that-
asthma
that's-
attack.
No,
You know, it helps with
Zeb does
breathing.
that. Zeb does
It's
that
like
to
pillows.
Josh.
but that's
all the
when
time.
he
Pillows.
learned he had learned to defend himself, and he defended himself. Then
Oh, so then it's okay.
that's when he had the fight when Bull
that
comes
still
out and
makes him the
says,
bad guy.
Trelawney, he would have killed you. You know?
What's Night Train to Terror, right?
And his name's
Bull's in?
Trelawney. You should beat his
Wait,
ass
which one?
anyway,
The
right?
Bull
Maybe it
from
doesn't
Night
work for this
Court.
movie.
That
Yeah,
horror movie.
Night Train to Terror.
Night Train to Terror. Have you seen Night Train to Terror?
No.
Dude, because Bull from Night Court is in that movie.
Richard Mall, who's
And
also in
he
this.
is so fucking awesome in it. It
Oh,
is,
really?
It is great.
What
It's like-
isn't he awesome?
He's like he's this one where he's like all like dressed like a Nazi or something, like torturing some bitch, and it's really
I'll
out
have
there.
to be on the
What
radar.
isn't he awesome?
Laverne and Shirley. No, he's awesome in that.
Let
Was
me
he-
ask like a question that's contextual.
Sure.
But like, what is the appeal of Chuck Norris? Because I've never quite understood it. I accepted
I
it.
never
I
liked
don't.
him either.
I like
I
the
was-
book, where when we want to change time, we have Chuck Norris do a push-up. I like all that. That's
I think
funny.
that's it. I think it's just that people buy that shit. Somebody
Well,
started that.
But he's like
Well-
the red meat for
Yeah.
red people.
Yeah.
Like
Well, yeah,
lost
'cause-
in a political
'cause he's-
position. I don't
I
get
kinda
it.
have
I
a
don't
theory
understand
about
his
it.
cultural value.
Because he was like the first,
White kid to compete with
Well,
Bruce
yeah,
Lee.
He is. Maybe it's because he is to martial arts like what Eminem is to rap. Like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
He was
He
the
makes
white
it
guy
okay for white people
right?
to kinda
Because
go for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
Right.
there's always going to be like those people out there that are. It's like, oh, they might like, Bruce Lee, but there's going to be some stigma because of they have a racial bias.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
like how people might kind of like rap, but like, oh, if only there was a white guy who did it because
Oh,
I could
but wait,
identify
we've
with
got
him
one.
more.
Our savior.
Basically, yeah. And then
Is that what it? Because
I feel like that's probably what it was.
That's what it feels
Well,
like
that was
to
part
me.
of it, yeah. And then, like, he
that
did all
breaks
the
him
martial
through
arts
in the 60s and
movies,
70s. Yeah.
and he just did so many of them in such a short time. And then, like, he flared out. And then he had Texas Ranger, and then he got revitalized again in World of Warcraft, of course. Because, like, you would
Well,
go
that
through a
whole-
zone called the Barrens, and all it was Chuck Norris talk.
Well, that was where that whole Chuck
Oh.
Norris joke thing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And that
Yeah.
was
It all
huge.
started
That
from
whole
there.
meme thing.
Which was a rip-off
Yeah.
of the Bill Brasky jokes on SNL.
Oh,
throwing that out there.
Okay.
Really interesting. I never got the Chuck Norris thing. Growing up as a child of the '80s, I am now, and always will be a Schwarzenegger man.
Right.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
There was no room in my
Oh,
heart
yeah.
for two action stars.
Well,
so
it makes,
Schwarzenegger,
it makes
that's
sense
it.
that you would choose Schwarzenegger.
Well, he
Who else would
clearly
you
has
choose?
the far superior.
Well, there's
body of
always the
work.
fight between two. It was Schwarzenegger and Norris, and then it was it Van
Schwarzenegger
Damme and
Stallone against
Seagal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
it's-
jeez.
Well, we
Jean-Claude
should
No
all
matter
have-
who wins, we fucking lose.
Yeah.
Dude, it's sensitive ponytail to
Well,
the
it-
splits guy.
It's funny you say that. Seagal and Chuck Norris to me are very similar. Like
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
more excitement about Steven Seagal movies. Like I really dig watching bits of Out for Justice.
Yeah.
Mark for Death has a soft spot in my
Under
heart.
Siege.
Well,
Yeah,
violence.
I mean,
Tommy Lee Jones.
I can,
Yeah.
but
those
it's
titties.
often not because of them, but it's because of the surround. And they somehow or other convinced a lot of people that they were really important and special enough to have a lot of work done around them
Yeah.
that people remember. And he's a terrible actor. I suppose there's something to be said that he's handsome, I guess, but he looks so plastic.
yeah,
and
I don't know
frozen.
how that guy ever got to bang Kelly
Yeah.
LeBrock.
I see. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Man.
Yeah.
I saw Hard to Kill, about half of it a few months back, and I was really struck by that. I was thinking,
Hard to watch.
how did
Second episode
how did this
first.
happen? How did this go on? How did they make Weird Science Lady into that? What happened to Ponytail?
It was somebody online took down Hard to Kill or something like that and was making fun of it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
there
Well,
was
it's
something
not worth
with
making
that.
fun of. It's ridiculous.
was it the Nostalgia Critic who was some? I don't remember.
I think it
somebody
was. I can't. Yeah, there was somebody on YouTube.
ripping on.
Yeah. Dude's a
It's
total farce too.
it's a
Conan did that whole
low-hanging
thing with
fruit.
Octagon, where he had
Oh, I bet that was great.
He had he had this lever installed in his stage that he would when he cranked it, it would show a scene from Octagon,
Right.
randomly.
Yeah.
So he would just
Texas Ranger.
throughout the show, he would just hit
And then
it,
Chuck
and it would
Norris
just be
came
an
came on
And-
the show, and
And Texas Ranger is nonsense.
oh my god,
Oh,
and it went
yeah.
on for so
That's
long.
so
I have
Yeah.
friends who live
I
in
love
San
watching
Francisco that got pretty regular work doing pickup stuff on the crews of those shows. So I mean, for them it was bread and butter, but they had no idea how this could possibly continue.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to pay my rent this month. But how is it possible?
And it kept going too.
And like
It
USA
was
picked that shit
popular.
up in syndication. I
was
mean,
popular.
those
Yeah.
people are gonna be writing checks the rest of their
Yeah.
lives and enjoying pay out of that. And I don't get it. I mean, every moment of that show I've ever
I
seen
think
is
it
so
must have
bad.
been in the
People-
heartland
I think
of
they think-
America, the Bible
it's like
Belt.
Christian
I think there was
albums.
probably a part of the country
Because didn't
that
they
was really
shoot
big
like
in.
63 episode seasons for that?
How
Like,
long did
they-
it
Seemed like it was- yeah.
It
Long,
seems
long
like
time.
It's like
basically
Christian
when Chuck
albums.
Norris was awake, they shot him from
Yeah.
1994 to
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah, I
People-
don't know that he was acting.
People just want that right wing agenda pushed.
I
you know?
guess, yeah,
Like
like-
it's like
He
it's
was
Christian
a
albums.
Texas
You-
Conservatives,
if
I
you have
think,
a
I think
choice-
conservatives
And
like
he's
being
super pro gun.
the,
you know?
like being told conservative
203
stories.
episodes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
A season.
Jesus.
That was
203.
it ran for
Including a
2
TV
seasons.
movie.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
Walker, Texas Ranger again. Still walking.
From 93 to 2001.
Still
It's
Well, I
still
mean,
walking, man.
That
Walkering.
show actually launched.
It's all right.
What's her
We
name?
should do a new
Kelly
one
Hu.
called Still Walker.
It did, right? She was a deputy or
Yeah.
one of the hangers on.
Dead man Walker.
That'd be a good mashup. Sean Penn would do it. In a
I don't know
moment.
why.
God, I wish.
As long as
Sean
you
Penn
can
would
let him
fucking
dress
die.
up like a woman.
He's,
It's
a
like,
good,
yeah,
he's pretty
I'm
good,
down.
man. He's done some good
Yeah.
stuff.
I
Bring my dress.
can't stand Sean Penn.
The guy's got chops.
He
Gaylord
does.
Sartain
No,
was in
he
it.
doesn't.
did
I
not
used
know
to
that.
hate him.
Yeah?
I don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't like him either. Yeah, I don't care for Sean Penn.
No,
Fuck
he's
Sean Penn.
Fucking terrible.
Dude, Carlito's Way?
Just seems so
Man, fuck
douchey.
you guys.
I hated
Come
that
on.
movie. I
That
You
movie's
don't like
rad.
Carlito's Way?
the movie's okay, but
It's like Scarface, only Scarface isn't a fucking moron.
and like
it's like
Mystic
it's
River.
way better.
Smart face.
No Scarface.
Yeah, no scars face.
yeah,
It's like Scarface that didn't get high on his own supply, man.
well,
It was radical.
Mystic River sucked.
Benny Blanco from the
Milk
Bronx.
sucked.
Yeah, John Leguizamo.
You like John Leguizamo?
I
He's
love
he's
John
in Carlito's
Leguizamo.
Way.
Yeah,
Him
he's
and
good in that.
Louise
Loved him in the
Guzman.
past.
Pachanga. Louise Guzman.
Have you guys seen Spun?
Yeah, with Jason Patrick.
Spun.
Like everything from
Love that
1990
movie.
onward.
Was that
With-
his big
You like
breakout performance?
Who? Wait,
Louis
with who?
Guzman?
Who's that?
Carlito's Way. Yeah,
Yeah,
as Pachanga. Yeah, and then he was in Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
As,
I just love the movie in the movie when he wants to be in movies, and he keeps looking at the camera and fucking it up.
Yeah.
He was in the remake of All the King's Men.
Who
Oh,
was?
gee.
Sean Penn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He was the
Holy
centerpiece. He
shit.
was
I did not
Huey
see
Long,
that.
right?
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what else in Carlito's Way? It has Aragorn going like, I shit in my pants every fucking day.
All right, that's worth it right there.
I totally forgot about that.
And Penelope Ann Miller's
Right.
tits.
Yes, she puts them on the
she
glass.
was Baird
Yeah.
She puts them on the glass in
Yeah.
Carlito's Way.
See, this
Take
is
this
why we
thing
need
on
a
that.
late night show on KKSM. So
And
we
that,
can cuss
yeah,
about
we got to
this.
talk about that. Okay, well,
Right.
so that's
of
going to
course we
wrap it
haven't
up
talked to him
for
yet.
this edition of Las Películas Sábados Gigantes at the Cinemarijuana Theatre. We'll be back next week with more chat about whatever we're about to watch tonight.
It'll be
Who's
my-
eligible?
It's
me.
If you're
me
calling in
and,
about
Garrett.
Yeah.
and
Tonight.
Yeah. Three-way split.
So let's do. Wait, what, Chris?
I was gonna say if you're calling in tonight, call about
What we're talking
doing
about
next
next
week.
Yeah, tonight,
So next week,
next week we're watching tonight.
All right, let's do introductions, starting with me going clockwise. I'm Ed,
I'm John.
I'm Garrett.
I'm Zeb.
I'm Chris.
I'm Kenzie.
and we'll be back next week with
What a
more
great beard you have.
more hilarity and hijinks. Thanks for listening.
Allah. Allah. Allah.